Hi, Taurus. Okay, welcome to this space. It's called Opal Oracle if you're new here, and my name's Raaji. Okay, so, Taurus. Guess we're gonna just jump right in. So, I just saw, I hope you had a nice birthday. I mean, you want to think about a happy birthday that you had, or maybe there's someone's birthday that you'll be celebrating. So, we start out here with the mountain. It did sort of fly out in the reverse, so I see this in a few different ways. To me, the mountain is always Saturn. So, at times it can be a blockage, or it can be where there's something to be overcome, right? And it takes a lot of time to do. And so overcoming that obstacle, and I feel like this is a bit of more of a past energy for some of you. Some of you, this is in this time. But taking the initiative to endure and to focus on something sort of a serious nature. I also rolled the dice and you ended up with Saturn in the 4th house. So some of you, home could also be very important. I don't know if some of you are like re-signing your lease, or you're buying a house, or you've been living in wherever you've been living, there's some kind of change in that. Saturn in the 4th also, a way to sort of alleviate the stress of that and is to have plants in your house, to take care of something that it gives back, but not in the same way that a human would, right? Because it's your initiative that makes it grow. That's the helpful part of having the message and medicine of plants, right? Now, when you do, in the game of hope, when you do land on the mountain or start with the mountain, usually what happens is you have to wait for another person to be where you are. Like someone has to come help you here. Or you have to roll a double. So I guess what I'm seeing is this is also like the top of your map, which to me I'm seeing like the light of the sun, right? Having confidence in yourself to overcome a fear that you have, perhaps, or to be able to know how to endure. Although I sense you to me is a very enduring sign, a very endearing sign. But this is like a different kind of endurance. It's okay, well, if you know, for instance, well, I can't have this unless I have that. And you realize you need other people for it, right? It's a combination of working together. That's good to know, but in the meantime, it's always good for you to keep rolling the dice, because I actually see that this is a good time for most of you. And I see, take this with a grain of salt, but it's almost like through your experience thus far, you could kind of... it's not exactly be more risky, but for you, I feel like this would just be trying something new or doing something different, especially if you've been doing kind of the same thing, especially for the last, I don't know, year, 2, 4, 3, 4 years, something like that. Okay, let's keep going. Taurus. Oh, got Saturn again. Interesting. Double Saturn. Interesting, Taurus. So this is a very Saturnian time for you. Okay, what does Saturn represent? Responsibility, respect, time, appreciating what has come before you, what is in and what is in front of you, with a feeling of feeling solid, right? Feeling stable. That's another thing that Saturn is stable, even in the midst of any kind of, be like, I heard, you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. It reminds me of Pisces reading a couple months ago. It's like, oh, Queen of Wands has to deal with the Five of Wands. No big deal. That ain't no thing to her. You know what I mean? But you have to handle something very practically in this time. This could be, like, what is the, oh, I saw this in the beginning. I'm getting so excited. Okay, if you fast forward your life to, and I guess this would be understanding what you deem successful or what feels good to you. This could have to do with some basic stuff too, like, say, future focus. Like, where do you want to live? How do you want to feel about yourself? How do you want to deal with obstacles when they come? How much money do you need to feel more comfortable about money? How would you like people to value your time? Right? It's almost like, again, looking to the future. Although for some of you, I see this as very near future. It depends how far you've walked up this mountain and then came back down the mountain, right? It depends where you are on the path. But it's almost like if you figure out what it is that how you want to feel and what the sort of earthly parts of it need to be, then there's new growth. And it seems to be that something comes just at the right time. Maybe some of you have been waiting for something for so long. You're like, if you've been putting in a lot of hard work into something, you've been walking this mountain, right, doing what you can, dealing with things as best you can, being responsible, etc., being honest, right, communicating about how you feel, right, not giving too much in your work, or understanding where to have better boundaries about where to give and about the giving and receiving in life, then fortune is yours. Didn't we talk about this recently? Let's see what this card is. Okay, Five of Cups, but it's in the reverse. Remember, sometimes a blockage, sometimes a difficulty, sometimes a setback. I'm seeing Isa, the rune Isa. Sometimes that's exactly what is necessary to push you into a new space, right? Because it's not always easy, right? Because you're a workhorse. Whenever you get into something and you spend time with it, and you put your time and your money and your energy into it, your love into it, you're very dedicated, enduring sign. But relational disputes at times, and I feel like this is more interpersonal, could even have to do with boundaries with children, or your lover, things like this. It could even be just getting mad, being like, wait, I need to do better. I heard I need to do better with this. Not because you think that you aren't good or something isn't good, but you know you could do better. I just keep seeing a little bud on a branch. It was like a branch with no leaves on it, you know? Kind of, it almost seems dead, but it's alive. And then all of a sudden, there's like these little tiny buds all over it. And it's been like that for a while, where like it's been this slow growth. But then I feel like all of a sudden, it's just where all these little buds are now blossoming. And then those little flowers turn into big, huge leaves. Like all this green, right? All this green is heart chakra energy. So I want you to know that whatever is growing, whatever is new in your life, your patience coming from the right place, this is bringing growth, and it's just the right time. Now, if you haven't had a disagreement or figured out how to communicate yet when you're foggy or funky, then this may be a little bit harder of a turn, right? Because it's almost like if you're trying to drive up a mountain, say, let's give it a little more speed, right? You're trying to drive up the mountain, or you're trying to even get back down. Mountains have switchbacks, right? They go long, and then it's a real tight turn, and you have to slow down when you take that turn so you don't fall off the edge, right? So it's almost like I feel like you're going to have these straight shots where it feels really good, right? It has a momentum. But these are like, they're longer, but they're shorter bursts. Does that make sense? And then you can feel when you're kind of coming to the edge, you don't need to slam on the brakes. You just let off the gas because you start to realize where these little turns are. And you start to feel more comfortable. And don't feel like you're backtracking because you are making progress. It's just the safest way to do it. Now you do this card of core care was also on the bottom, so I also see this as you. Saturn is also about health, right? It's about, and again, money and responsibilities, all these things. Being responsible to your own emotional well-being is your level of health, right? I would also say maybe some of you need more calcium. I actually just found out something recently where when you're 40, you start to not create calcium. Our bodies don't create calcium supposedly as it did before, so this is why bones become more brittle as we become older. Right, so maybe just taking care of that. It's because it'd also be like joint pain. Maybe some of you need to get a little bit more exercise, or make sure you're really get into the places that bend, like that switchback. You know what I mean? Make sure you're stretching when you get up. Make sure you stretch before you exercise. I see, remember that you're growing. And that sometimes, Taurus, growth does come from disagreeing. That's okay. Right? You having boundaries, that's how people boundaries is what makes other people respect you. When you don't have them, then this growth gets stepped on. Do you know what I mean? So also this core care, I'm also seeing this as the center of your body, which is the opposite of the mountain, right? It's Cancerian, sort of Virgo energy. So making sure that that's strong. You know, maybe some sit-ups for some of you. I'd watch also Leo. In between there is the lower back and the upper back. So Saturn also rules the spine, which is about confidence, right? Okay, let's, I just want to do one thing. Hold on. You're still there? Good. Let's choose a few extra cards for this time frame. Taurus. Not yet. Ooh, 10 of... awesome. 10 of hearts for you. We'll take this. Full of love. I feel like you're feeling stronger. And if you don't feel strong right now, or again, it feels like it's a little dense for some of you, I think it really depends where you have Taurus or how it's being aspected. Also, how you feel about the growth. Again, the past and what is in front of you and where you stand now. But I see that that'll come to a place of great... This is like really beautiful happiness. Okay, let's see what's going on with other people. I see maybe something's not a laughing matter, or maybe you're starting to gain respect. Somebody's starting to gain respect for somebody else due to their choices. They're either gaining it or losing it. It depends what the choices are. Could also be where maybe somebody wasn't taking somebody very seriously, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh wait, you're a lot more serious than I thought that you were. You know, there's like people that are always joking around. Like, it's like somebody may show another side of themselves that helps you to understand more of the depths of them. Let's see about this. Yes. You know, remember also, if you ever get made fun of, if anybody ever pokes fun at you, it's because that's a weak part of you. And I know it's a backwards way, but sometimes that's a way for you to learn the spiritual lesson of how to respect and love yourself more. I see work very good. This is a great place of independence here. I really see the more you're in this Saturn energy right now, the more you're focused again on the things that have to do with the long term, right? Not just only today, not just what feels good in this moment, but like how that connects to the future. Cancer's reading will have a message for you. This is also how you succeed. This is also how you have the right people in your life. For some of you, you could say, like, maybe there's a friend that you're, or someone in your life that you're just not feeling. Could be many people for some of you, where there's something where, like, maybe taking a little distance from something, or taking a little space and then coming back to it. I do see, don't expect anything from other people that are not taking things seriously. And maybe that's just the focus. You know, because I could see that how some people maybe want your energy because you're such a treat to be around. But you want to be cautious of that because that could kind of take you off track, and you have to watch the road right now. You know what I mean? I do see your faith gaining too here. It's really beautiful. Like, your outlook on how you're feeling in your heart is really starting to expand. It's starting to, like, mirror each other better. Maybe it's because you're eclipsing some sort of family karma also, in a way. Okay. I'm going to look at you before we go. Hi, Taurus. I'm a little toasty. I was in the pool all weekend. Oh, yeah. Needed it. Needed it. But I've been in that Saturn energy I realized, for like 5 years straight. I've been running like a panther. You know what I mean? It's interesting, though, when you intentionally recognize what you need as an individual because of how you feel and what you're wanting to accomplish and what you find important to you. You know, just a little bit of adjustment can really make you more comfortable and put you right back on track. Do you know what I mean? Feel confident about the path. Yes. And I do see there's Cancerian energy. You're recording the same day. So, well, thank you again, Taurus, for being here. Yes, Cancer's reading will be, very helpful. I would also say look to your moon. Could be a part of that, and whatever your Saturn is. 3rd house, Saturn. 3rd, 5th house, and Saturn. I see feel good about yourself. Feel good about what you've been working on. If there's any little stingers in there still, or again, the Saturn energy sometimes can be a little rough. You know, sometimes we gotta grin and bear it. Sometimes we have to face our fears. You know, the more you do, the less you wobble. You know what I mean? More faith and clarity you gain. Well, thank you so much again. I do hope this was of service. I like these combination of cards. Wishing you the best, and thank you, any of you, wherever you put your energy, wherever you put your love, wherever you are being responsible, what you're being responsible for. Putting your time and energy into things, you know, in your personal lives, at your jobs, for your future. Any of you also have joined Patreon, thank you so much, and planted your seeds in the garden. So many, it's just some really cool, it's a cool little tribe over there. Thanks so much. Alright, I'll talk to you next time. Take care.